yeah, I haven't done the mail in a while. If you are new to this show, this is something that I do from time to time. I have people who like to share projects that they're working on, end up getting a lot of cool stuff, and we have a serious stack going back there. So I thought today would be a great day to start getting through some of these. So without further ado, let's open some mail. Let's get to some mail here. First up, we have a set of prints, and these come to us from Robert Gershenson, who writes, Dear Ted, absolutely loving the channel. I've been a photographer for 15 years, and I've recently moved into teaching and running workshops so I can dedicate more time to my own projects. One of the big things that I tell my students is that photography is so much more than just getting exposure correct and pressing the shutter button. Understanding that we don't just take photos, but rather that we create images is just as important a concept to adopt. I urge them to seek out as much work as possible to be inspired by. I've sent you a full set of my series Night version, which sees me reimagine London landmarks as neo-noir dreamscapes. Each image is made up of several long exposures composited together in Photoshop and includes Abbey Road Zebra Crossing, the Apple Regent Street Screen on the Street, Windmill Club in Soho, and the Women of World War II Memorial in Whitehall. Robert, this is really cool, and if you guys are interested, this is his website here, robertgershenson.com. You can get 10% off orders if you use offer code RobertKnight. Robert, thanks for sharing. These are absolutely gorgeous. Next up is a little gift from my friends at Hidden Light, specifically Steven Saunders. Hidden Light I have worked with before. I've done videos with them. I'll link one of them up here. You should go check it out. They're an amazing alternative process printing studio located in Flagstaff, Arizona. They do some amazing work with platinum palladium, silver gelatin, really cool stuff. My friend Steven sent me this. Check it out. Poga t-shirt is one of my favorite cameras ever. Steven, you're the man. Thanks a bunch. This is massive and awesome. This comes to us from a friend of mine. This is Bastion Work, who I have featured stuff on before. In fact, I've got a little interesting story before I read this on Bastion. So when I first started doing these mail videos, Bastion sent me his first book, which was just incredible. I was simply amazed by this. And then about a year later, he sent me his second book, and I'm literally blown away. I had never met Bastion before, and I mispronounced his name at the time. But anyway, I will link up to my mail time playlist, and you can go check some of those out because the work is just fabulous. He is an incredible photographer. Well, a couple of months went by, and then I called him up one day and I said, man, I'm serious. At some point, I want to do an artist series video and I want to feature you. And about a month later, he calls and he says, you know, it's interesting. I'm going to be in Atlanta this month because I'm doing my first show opening in the United States. And I'm going to be there. I don't know how far you are from Atlanta. And I thought, well, let's make this happen. So actually, packed up my cameras. I flew out to Atlanta. I did a lot of behind the scenes of his show, which was just absolutely incredible. And then we sat down and did an interview, and I was going to include that in the season 3 of the Artist Series. If you're new and you don't know what Artist Series is, it's this series of documentaries that I do on living photographers, and I'm really proud of it. My plan is to do season 3, and I interviewed Clyde Butcher, and then I interviewed Bastion, and I needed to do maybe 3 more, so I'd have a set of 5. And what happened is life got in the way, and the budget I didn't have so much of because I was paying for season 3 myself, and so I started putting things on hold, and then we had camera releases, so on and so forth, and now we're in a situation where I can't do any traveling. And so I think what I might do here is actually just release the 2 that I've got. Go ahead and edit them, finish them up. If you guys have any thoughts on that, leave me a comment below because I really would love to know what people want to see with that. Artist Series is just very different. It's something that's very special to me, and I really wanted to do it as a season. That's how I've done them before, and that's where I got kind of stopgapped because I'm paying for it myself this time around, and it's tight. It's hard to do these things. You have to fly. You have to get a hotel. There's money involved with it, but that's where we are. But Bastion has sent me his newest book, and this is what I want to share with you today. Dear Ted, I proudly present to you my latest book, Hidden, which contains an overview of the last 5 years. I hope everything is working out with the Artist Series. Just explain that. Looking forward to seeing it. Bastion Work. Check out this signature. Now that's an autograph. So if you haven't seen Bastion's work before, well, check this out. absolutely beautiful. I imagine that Bastion is probably selling this book. I will link up to his website in the show description. You guys need to check him out. This is a gorgeous book. It's really beautiful how it's put together. It's got this awesome woven cover on it, and it's embossed. This is absolutely gorgeous. So, Bastion, we're going to get back on this. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So a quick word about personal projects, and then I promise we will get to the Peter McKinnon bag. But personal projects, for me at least, and I think to a lot of people, I think it's one of the most important things to you as a creator, as a photographer. It's how you explore things and how you grow. Now, when I talk about personal projects, it's just something that you invent or you make up for yourself. It can be big, it can be small in scale, it's whatever it is, but it's your opportunity to focus. It's your playground, it's your lab, it's your experimentation. It's not something you're doing for a client. When you're doing a client project, there's a brief, there's a set of parameters that you are going to follow, you're going to get paid for doing them. That is, I mean, can be creative to do those things and should be creative to do those things, but I wouldn't call those growth necessarily, because that's when you're on a job for somebody. But for anyone, whether you're a pro photographer or pro creator or not, I think that the ability to focus in and do a personal project is really important. That exploration, that sense of creativity. And look, I understand right now we are in uncharted territory. We are at a time in the world that's completely unprecedented. It's very uncertain. I know that there are cities and places that are shut down. There's people who have been furloughed. There's people working from home. There's people who've lost their jobs, and I'm very sensitive to that. And I really want to underscore that, because that is really important, because those kinds of things lead to stress, which lead to depression mixed with all this uncertainty, and it really is alarming. And I think that for me anyway, the only advice that I can give people is that you are blessed with something that is very important and specific to you, and that's the ability to create something, and it's the ability to make something. And I know that the whole photography world, and you guys have seen it on this channel, we get caught up in the toys and the gear and the fun stuff, and that all has its place, and it's always fun to explore those things. But at the end of the day, are we just testing cameras out all the time to see what they do, or are we trying to make something with them? And I think that's one of the most important things that I can bestow on you guys as a takeaway from this. And you should check out some of my other mail videos too, because I'm really proud of the work that's sent in. It's really cool to see and be inspired by people that I make these videos, and apparently they like what I do, which is sometimes weird to me too. And I don't want to go into imposter syndrome here or anything like that, but I think it's really important. And if you've got downtime right now, even if you could donate or dedicate just a little bit of that time to your creative cause, whatever that is, that's something that it fulfills us, it builds us up, it's something that drives us. You've got to be inspired. You need that kind of vibrancy, that kind of juice in your life, and I think that's really important. So I just wanted to take a minute and say that, and I want to thank everybody who sent stuff in. There really is a big stack of mail back there, and I haven't been able to get to all of it, and I promise we're going to be working through it. I just haven't done these in a while. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that, but I have one more thing that I want to show you. This is from my dear friend Peter McKinnon, who sent me one of his bags. So it's a whole new year, and it's time to explore new skills and get lost in creativity. Well, Skillshare's online courses are here for you. What you find might just surprise and inspire you. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so that you can move your creative journey forward without putting your life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. Whether it's video, photography, or any other creative field, Skillshare have classes for everyone. One class that I've been working through recently was done by Ryan Booth, who's a filmmaker. This is called DIY Cinematography, Make Your Video Look Like a Movie. Ryan is incredible. He's had films at Sundance. He's worked for clients like MTV and Spotify. And if you want to learn how to use these tools that we're talking about to get the best look possible, what I love about this class is that we get through the tools of the trade and terminology and such, but what we do is we get into maximizing your location, sculpting and shooting with natural light. So even if you're not a videographer and you just want to improve your natural light photography skills, this is highly recommended. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. So if you want to take this class or any of the others on Skillshare, the first 500 people to use the link in the description will get 2 months of Skillshare for free. Go get inspired, and I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this episode of The Art of Photography. photography. So this is the Peter McKinnon bag. This is made by a company called Nomadic. This was a big project that Pete did last year where they actually designed this bag. They did a Kickstarter for it. And I'm going to be really honest with you. Before I turn the camera back on to show it to you, I thought I need to kind of go through this a little bit because it is very complex, and it is. And so anyway, we're going to get right to it. So the whole idea behind this bag is it has what we call a modular design. So this means that you can kind of set it up in various ways depending on how much you're traveling, how much you're carrying, and it's really, really well made. In fact, like the build quality and the materials on here, all is extremely impressive. Also worth noting, the design is such on this bag that there are essentially 3 parts. So on this front part, you've got a compartment where you can put clothing if you want. It also holds a laptop and also a tablet. Then you've got the main compartment, which is for your camera gear, and then it also comes with some little accessories for memory card, wallet storage, and things like that. I'll get to those in a second. So right on the surface, if you check this out, we've got MOLLE hooks on the front, so you can attach things to the bag if you want. We can go in here and you can see the clothing compartment, which is really cool, and it's designed to be compressed. So you fold your clothes, you put them down, there's a belt that goes on the top. We've got pockets for various things. On the inside, we've got these mesh pockets and compartments here for storing smaller clothing items. The clothing thing is cool in here, and this is perfect for like smaller, shorter trips where you're going for maybe 2 nights or something like that. I do a lot of those. And so this actually probably would work. If you were going to go somewhere for weeks on end or a big journey, I think you would want to have separate luggage, but I'm going to show you a feature that I really like that accommodates that as well. So on the back, underneath the shoulder straps here and the optional waist strap that is removable, we have what we call pass-through. So this big compartment here is just a big compartment, and this means that when you're in the airport and you've got a lot of heavy stuff, maybe you don't want this on your back because you're waiting on the plane or something like that, you can put this through the luggage handle that sticks up, and then you can just drag it around like that. I think every camera bag needs the pass-through. That is really important. Also on the back, there is a compartment here for your laptop, as I mentioned earlier. And we also have side access, which velcros down for people who want to have side access to their gear, which is in the main compartment, which we're going to get to in a second. And on the front, this is very cool here too. Under this zipper, you have a small compartment where you can keep your keys. There is actually an attachment for your keys, so you don't lose them. You can keep sunglasses, whatever, in there. And then there's a little front compartment here. This is really hard to show on here, but it is magnetic, and you can put your passport or your driver's license or important documents in there, and they are going to stay safe. I'm going to apologize to Pete right now because this needs a dedicated video. There really is a lot going on in this bag, and if you guys would like to see me actually review this, drop me a comment and let me know. So this is the inner compartment. This is where your camera gear is going to go, and this is really cool because, so just to give you a point of reference, this is the front of the backpack, or the back, depending on what you're calling it. So your shoulder straps are right here. It's underneath, so you want to put this face down when you're ready to access your camera gear. This particular package that I got comes with all of these little accessories that are really cool. This is the Cube Pack, which can hold lenses or anything else. It's like a smaller bag that fits inside the bag. Or you can optionally take that out and fill this with other camera gear that you might need. We've also got a series of wallets in here. This is the filter case, which is very cool if you travel with filters. I do all the time, and that's always a serious pain on what I'm going to do with them, and you definitely don't want to travel with them loose because they can get scratched. We have a little raincoat, so if you are in weather conditions, you can take this as well and put it on the outside of the bag. We've got tripod straps. We have this is just another accessory case. Case has dividers as well if you want to make use of that, depending on what you're traveling with. More dividers in the bottom, and then we have these 2 wallets too, which are really pretty cool. One is a battery case. The other is camera accessory storage. Comes with a little demo on here. You can put memory cards in here. It'll fit CFast, CF cards, and then also there's a little pouch on the back where you can hold your micro SD card. So if you're traveling with a drone or something like that, those tend to go all over the place. So very, very cool. Oh, and nice touch, it closes with magnets. And this is the battery case here. And no way, this is cool. Very well thought out. So there's a little set of stickers here. Get them in focus. These are little red stickers. And the idea is that when you travel with batteries, oftentimes you will just throw them all in a bag together, which is what I tend to do. And you don't know when batteries are dead or when they're fully charged. So the idea here is that you can take these stickers and put it on one side of the battery, and that way, if it's dead, you put it in upside down so you see the sticker that it's red. Batteries that are fully charged go on the dark side, so you know they're fully charged. That's really well thought out. The other cool thing about having a separate case for all of your batteries is something that I've learned, at least in the United States, when traveling. You are under certain restrictions of where batteries can go in the airplane. They do not allow lithium-ion batteries to go into a checked bag. Now, I never check my camera gear. That's kind of a big no-no if you ever want to see it again or if you want to see it in one piece. But typically, just in case you're ever asked and you have to check something and the batteries are in them, I keep them in these so I can pull them out real easily. So for instance, if they're in my clothes bag, I can pull out the batteries or whatever and then just stick that through, and then these travel in the cabin with me. So this is a brief overview of the Peter McKinnon bag. Let me know if you guys want to see more on this. It's a complex bag. I wish I was traveling right now because I'd really like to try this out, actually. This is really nice. So Peter, thanks for sending this over. Much appreciated, my friend. And thanks to everybody for sending stuff in. Make sure you check out Bastion's book. Make sure you're working on personal projects. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.